This is Joel Smith 5.2 planning review of my session. To start off with, I done a warm-up. So before we done anything, the planning, I chose to do a light jog, which will get the muscles warm and get the blood flowing. Also, getting the blood flowing and muscles going, it also means your muscles going to get pliable, which is really good because you don't want them not to get pliable because you got a chance of pulling something, which is really common in footballers. Also, I then went on to a rondo. So this allowed everyone to get on the ball, get them focused, get them on time, get the touch right before we went on to the main session. I thought the rondo was a good idea because it got everyone thinking, it got everyone on their toes. It gets them focused for what they're about to do. And I thought a rondo was a really good starting point because everyone can do this and everybody's capable of doing this. No matter if you have to go slow or fast, it doesn't matter. But I thought all my teammates were capable of this, using 1 foot or 2 feet, using left or right, whichever they needed, or first time. They were all capable of doing this. I then planned to do a main session. I laid out a cone 5 meters from halfway line, and then another 2 meter cone, another 2 meters from that cone, going towards the goal line, just right of the centre of the pitch. And then I placed a mannequin to the left of the cone, which the players would then have to beat to score. They would play a quick 1-2 with a player at each cone, and then they dribble around the mannequin, either 1 touch or 2 touch with either feet, and then try and finish and beat the goalkeeper. I didn't want to add a defender instead of a mannequin in my planning because some players are faster than others, and if you had a really slow player taking a shot against a really fast defender, then it's going to be unfair, and the slower person isn't going to get a shot off quick enough, which then they might feel hard done by, and then they might not want to interact anymore. So I just had a mannequin so people not could take their time, but they could take as long as they needed to get the shot off and feel good about themselves. And also, if you had a really good defender, like say a person who already starts centre back against a right back or a centre defensive midfielder who doesn't really shoot a lot, then the defender is going to know exactly what they're going to do, and they're going to get first at the ball, which then might put their confidence down and they might want to not participate anymore. I then went on to a warm down for my planning. I planned to do a quick jog around the pitch 1 or 2 times just to get the lactic acid flushed away from my muscles because lactic acid build-up is really common after you've done football. I also then I got the captain to do some dynamic and static stretches, which this again I chose the captain to do this to lead because it shows he's willing to help the team and to also take charge. So I thought that was really good. But I also chose to do dynamic and static stretches because it's going to release any build up of lactic acid, and it's going to get the muscles really warm again because after once you stop doing the main session, you can get really cold really easily, and especially on that day because it was really cold and it was raining. That means my teammates would have been standing there for a while and they may have got cold, so getting the muscles warm again and getting the muscles moving was really important. I also chose dynamic and static stretches because everyone can do them, so it wasn't too hard for someone to do them because all my teammates are really capable of doing much harder things, but it was really easy to do. Everyone knew what they were doing, and when they were called upon, they knew exactly what stretch to do. I think the good things about my planning was I gave clear instructions, so everybody knew what they're doing. When I told the captain to lead the stretches, he'd done that really well. I also thought nobody was kept standing still, which is really good. So, because if they kept standing still, they could get bored, they could not want to do it, they could not try as hard. but they kept on moving and kept them on their toes. They wanted to play, so I thought that was really good. But if I was going to do it again for my planning, I think I would have more than one main drill, because it did get a bit boring and repetitive. Just keep doing the same thing, even though I did change what feet they can use. I could have changed different angles they went from if the ball came in from head height. So I thought that was one of my areas for improvement. Also, I'd add in more drills. Even for cool down and warm up, I could add more things. A different sort of rondo. I could have had more things. And I think I could have made it harder because it was too easy, especially in the main drill, where some of them took a bit longer than others to play the 1-2, and then they just lightly jog around the mannequin and then finish. I could have made it much harder by adding the defender, but then that would have made them maybe not want to participate, because they would have got beaten to the ball really easily. But I think if I was going to do it again, I would play the ball in from head height. I would get them to throw it at their head height, or play a 1-2 in the air before they went over, so they got to think much quicker, because it was just a bit too easy, and players could finish really easily. Thank you, that's fucking 2.